had an appointment on the 15th of May, and I went to the hospital. My wife and daughter dropped me off, and I got my scooter out of the car. And I went inside the hospital, but between the coffee shop and the elevators on the first floor, I had a heart attack.
Cecil had a massive heart attack at the VA on that day. We took him to the cath lab over there. We opened up his artery, we put him on a support system called an intra-aortic balloon pump. That wasn't enough to keep him going. It was clear he was on a breathing machine, he was on an intra-aortic balloon pump, he had his artery already opened up. We had stopped the heart attack, but he had sustained so much damage at that point that he was not able to sustain and keep going. His pressure was continuing to drop and he wasn't doing well. He had sustained a lot of damage to the ventricle on the right side plus the bottom side of his heart. The right ventricle was not moving at all, so we wanted to put a pump in there. Now, prior to a couple weeks to that event, they would have had to send him down the street, they would have opened up his chest, they would have had to put the right ventricular assist device surgically placed, which is an extreme high complication rate, morbidity, mortality rate in somebody that's had a heart attack.
Instead of a device placed into the heart itself, this can be placed percutaneously. It's put on the outside of the body, but it's done without making large incisions. It's done with peripheral cannulation.
Through large tubes that go through the veins and come up into the heart, we put the pump apparatus in through the vein, and through his veins and up to his heart and up into this pulmonary artery, and able to then pump blood through the right ventricle and basically bypass the right ventricle and act as a right-sided pump. The effect on him was immediate. When I was there, we saw him come. He was a white pale color despite being on a ventilator beside poor oxygenation, because he just wasn't getting enough blood flow to his lungs. You can have the oxygenation coming to his lungs via the machine, but you don't have enough blood flow going there getting oxygenated, and therefore he's not doing well. As soon as we turned the RVAD on, he immediately pinked up. His color got much better. His need for what we call vasopressor agents to help support his blood pressure became much less, and over the next 24 hours he improved remarkably.
I felt fine when I got out of the car, and the next thing that I remember is waking up over at the Med Center on the 18th. Lost 3 days.
I think it also highlights the VA's mission to provide the best medical care they can, and recognizing that if they can't provide that service, they'll get a life-saving procedure done down the street to somebody there. I salute the VA for their efforts to provide the best care they can.
I feel so lucky because they didn't have to open my chest.
You know, just happened to be in the right place, right time. Cecil was very fortunate that all the pieces fell into place quite nicely, and so it worked out very well for him.
Oh, it's amazing, and the staff over at the Med Center is phenomenal. I couldn't ask for a better crew. I'm just working now to get my strength back so that I can get back home where I can be with all of them.